Mining Conference opens in Sydney. Positive signals for PNG economy.
Of a turnaround around the major economies.
And PNG a must-see destination in 2017.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Monday's news. The government will do what it can to promote positive GDP growth without exceeding borrowing and spending limits. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill said this today at the opening of the 14th PNG Mining and Petroleum Investment Conference in Sydney, Australia. Hosted by the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, this year's conference has attracted over 1,100 participants.
Prime Minister O'Neill arrived at the Hilton Hotel this morning with other members of Parliament and senior government officials to attend the flagship biennial conference of the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum. The conference showcases the industry in PNG to the international finance and investment sectors. Amidst a challenging global economic environment, Prime Minister O'Neill assured that the government is doing what it can to maintain good governance at all levels.
I'm certain that you have done your homework and you know that the fundamentals of our economy is still very strong. Inflation is manageable, government debt is within our legal limits, in fact, much better than many countries around the world. And of course, the availability of foreign currency is continuing to improve as export revenues improve.
President of the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, Geria Aupi, said there has never been a more challenging time than the present. However, he said there is some hope.
The situation remains equally challenging, but with some rays of hope. This hope is seen in some gradual recovery in commodity prices since our last conference. I think you will agree in such times our efforts must be on converting these growth opportunities.
With over 230-plus member companies of the Chamber from 16 countries in attendance, the theme of delivering on growth opportunities is expected to raise the level of confidence to investors. Deli Waigeno, National EMTV News, Sydney.
In the meantime, Treasury Minister Patrick Puraj said there are positive signals for the PNG economy. He said this comes from the turnaround of several economic indicators of major economies since the election of Donald Trump as the United States President-elect.
In the months since Donald Trump became the U.S. President-elect, there has been signs of a turnaround around the major economies. U.S. stock markets are at record highs. U.S. unemployment has fallen to a 9-year low, and mineral prices have enjoyed a rebound. Unemployment in the Eurozone is at a 7-year low. Ladies and gentlemen, these are positive signals for the PNG economy after falling commodity prices. So our economic growth dropped sharply from 11.8% in 2015 to 2% this year.
President of the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, Geria Aupi, said mineral explorers are facing tough times. Mr. Aupi expressed concerns over the drastic decline in mineral exploration, especially in the grassroots exploration sector. This report from Deli Waigeno in Sydney.
Mr. Aupi expressed concerns over the drastic decline in mineral exploration, especially in the grassroots exploration sector. He said exploration takes a long time, and when its activities are constrained or reduced, it sets off a string of events that can threaten the sustainability of the mining sector.
A decline in exploration impacts many rural Papua New Guineans through the loss of direct employment, a lot of business for small businesses, owners and suppliers that provide goods and services to support these exploration projects.
Mr. Aupi said the commodity price market is cyclical and it will take some time before any major rebound in prices is seen.
We have to seriously ensure that this downward trend does not continue while we have little or no control over the global commodity price market.
Mr. Aupi said the mining and petroleum sector needs investment-friendly policies. In the meantime, Prime Minister O'Neill said what is needed from the sector is its continued confidence in the PNG economy. Deli Waigeno, National, EMTV News, Sydney.
There is ongoing debate about coal mining in PNG and using it as a means of energy and the fossil fuels' effects on the environment. Studies have revealed that there is enough high-quality coal in the Gulf province to run a 50-megawatt power station for 30 years. However, at what cost? Lian Jurari with this report.
There is an obvious absence of a local coal mining industry in the country. However, this may soon change. Mineral explorer Mayor Resources believes coal has a bright future in the country and could help to alleviate power shortages if the resources are tapped into and developed. However, there have been lively debates against the development of this particular fossil fuel, especially concerning environmental concerns. Industry expert Peter McCabe spoke this morning about the advantages and the disadvantages about coal.
The actual mining of the coal. And I think it's very important that that be done in an environmentally friendly way. And if it's done well, an area can be mined and then restoration of the land can be done and it looks exactly the same as before the mining. Second part is the burning of the coal, where there can be a lot of bad emissions of sulfur oxides and nitrous oxides and particles to the atmosphere. So again, there needs to be strong regulation about those emissions.
Lian Jurari, National, EMTV News, Sydney.
Papua New Guinea, located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, is considered a geological hotspot and is home to significant amounts of active volcanic activity. Geothermal energy is thermal energy generated and stored in the earth and is the second major power source to be developed in PNG. However, very little is known about it.
With Papua New Guinea's power system stretched as it is, demand already exceeds supply, and the underdevelopment of power generation presents the country with a unique chance to build up the system in an efficient and cost-effective way.
We need all forms of electricity generation to be successful. And I suggest we need to focus on options that can be scaled as demand increases, like the planned power plant in Port Moresby.
Experts believe that geothermal energy has the potential to answer some of these energy demands. Geothermal energy is the heat from the Earth's core and, simply put, is clean and sustainable. According to the Geothermal Energy Association, PNG's geothermal potential is estimated to be at 21.9 terawatt hours, which is enough to meet all our electricity needs well into the future. Industry expert Peter McCabe had this to say about the energy source.
It is an active tectonic area in terms of the mountains being built there. There's volcanoes. Yes. So just on a global perspective, that would make it a favourable area for geothermal.
Lian Jurari, National, EMTV News, Sydney.
The National Airports Corporation will conduct a major emergency exercise at the Jackson's International Airport from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow. Acting Managing Director Richard Yopo says the full-scale exercise will involve a mock incident where stakeholders are part of the airport emergency plan and will be required to execute their respective emergency procedures. The test is a requirement under PNG aviation rules. The National Airports Corporation wishes to advise the general public that this is only an exercise and not a real crash incident. Among stories after the break, PNG rated one of best tourist destinations for 2017, and Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister says there is opportunity for more Papua New Guineans to own business currently owned by foreigners. Stay tuned. Welcome back. National Geographic Travel magazine has listed PNG as one of the best travel destinations for 2017. One of 21 places listed as must-see for the new year, PNG's rich cultural diversity is the main attraction being promoted to the adventurous tourists. The list was published in the magazine's latest edition, which came out last month.
The 21 must-visit places for 2017 come under three categories: nature, cities, and culture. PNG comes under the culture category, along with the exotic Malta. While the other places under this travel list offer modern cities and modern infrastructure to access even the nature destinations, PNG is still being promoted as one of the last frontiers, a rugged Garden of Eden, a place where there is not even a beaten path, where all applications on smartphones do not work. The pull for tourists to visit PNG would be to go where very few have dared to go and experience cultures that few have experienced. With promotions like this, tourists may be shocked to realize that people actually do not live in their traditional villas. Those only come out on special occasions. And smartphone applications actually do work in PNG, as there is internet coverage in the country. And places like this at the Airways Hotel in Port Moresby provide Wi-Fi services to their clients. National Geographic Travel magazine is the travel edition of the National Geographic and is considered one of the most trusted travel guides in the world. While the impact of this level of tourism promotion is yet to be seen, the immediate impact is making PNG visible on the tourism landscape, especially the Goroka Show and the airline service providers. Tourism Promotion Authority CEO Jerry Agus says the challenge now is to ensure we continue to offer authentic PNG culture for tourists. Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister Richard Maru said New Ireland is lacking facilities to support its tourism sector. Minister Maru said while there is no political will to support New Ireland's potential in tourism, it is leaders who will make the province reach its peak in the sector. So far, New Ireland has drafted 3 tourism policy frameworks in the past 15 years.
Me talk 5 years ago, the day we start moving into this, people are looking. On big block government conference, summits block government by Kamlo Billas Place, New Ireland. And because New Ireland no got all infrastructure for tourism. That's the truth. Now you New Ireland got potential and you must take ownership.
Minister Richard Maru says more Papua New Guineans will have the opportunity to own and manage businesses currently owned by foreigners. Minister Maru said a new law will create over 50,000 reserved businesses in the country. He made this statement while opening a new wing for Kavieng New Lodge recently in New Ireland Province.
The Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister was in Kavieng recently to open a new wing for the Kavieng New Lodge. Minister Maru was joined by Transport Minister Malakai Tabar and Kavieng Open MP Ben Maika with other provincial leaders and guests. In his speech to those gathered at the event, Minister Maru said the new SME law will see ownership of reserved businesses from 10% to 70% by 2050. It's a great challenge for the government that needs national entrepreneurs to make it happen.
Where are our assets? We're no businessman American New Ireland, businessman American Papua New Guinea. We can make the decisions, but somebody has to make it happen. And big block concern me now.
Prior to opening the 32 premium rooms for the Kavieng New Lodge, owner John Merabo said it's a thriving business that has more potential with New Ireland tagged as a tourism destination.
Our vision is to be the choice of clients in tourism and hospitality industry in New Ireland Province, delivering excellent services, and we're also striving to be internationally accepted.
The new wing was given a traditional opening with a sacred sack calling performance before the ribbon cutting. Keveng New Lodge is one of the growing businesses in the New Island capital. Keveng District committed 100,000 kina for training purposes and to improve the lodging and guest house sector in the province.
And by SME online come na animal training program na training courses. Long halibim long upgrade him standard belong all guest house.
Jack Lapave Jr. National EMTV News.
New Ireland Governor Sir Julius Chan says the success of any economy is reflected on the welfare of its people. One of the country's founding fathers, Sir Julius, was speaking at a banquet hosted by Sir Ngora Bogan on Saturday night. Sir Julius Chan says much of the problems faced today come from mismanaging the country's finance. Bethany Harriman with this report.
On Saturday night, a banquet hosted by former Commissioner General of the Internal Revenue Commission, Sir Ngora Bogan, was attended by Lays business leaders, political heads from the New Generation Party, former Attorney General Karenga Kua, community leaders and top bureaucrats. Keynote speaker Sir Julius Chan told all in attendance that our economy is facing challenging times and the future looks difficult.
The first and most basic lesson I learned is one we seem to have forgotten in our country. The success of a country is not measured by GDP growth or by the amount of wealth mined from the land. When it comes to playing the game of politics, the entire goal, the entire purpose of the game is only one thing: the well-being, the health, security, and prosperity of the people of the country.
Sir Julius Chan is a former Prime Minister and has been in politics for over 50 years, holding many portfolios, including Minister of Finance. He had a lot to say about the current state of the country, but he didn't mince his words when it came to finance.
Much of the problem has come from mismanagement of the finances of the government. Something I learned very early before independence was that a government must be cautious. It must be conservative about the future fiscal position. To put it simply, government should never spend money it does not yet have.
There has been a lot of criticism about the state of Papua New Guinea's economy. Today, at the opening of a mining conference in Sydney, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill told investors that the 2017 budget will be tough on all sectors, but it aims at stability, encourages business and investment growth. Bethany Harriman, National EMTV News, Ley.
Telecom PNG is slashing internet costs by 50% and increases its data customers by providing faster internet at affordable rates. National Business Development Manager Bill Wartovo says that data bundles are as cheap as 2 kina for 60 megabytes 3 days. The 4G networks are already up in the Highlands, Medang, Bougainville and the New Guinea Islands. Bethany Harriman with this report.
Papua New Guineans are demanding fast internet more than ever before. People spend money on data every day. State-owned company Telecom PNG is tapping into that market in a big way. It's providing the fastest internet and slashing costs by half. What that means is customers can now watch 3 full-length high-definition movies for only 16 kina.
The network, data, internet is very fast. And that is the next level that we don't have here. And today we are introducing it to Papua New Guinea.
National Business Development Manager Bill Wartovo says the fast internet will give Papua New Guineans a new dimension into internet usage.
The days are gone where you see that you're waiting, it's rolling and rolling. Today you go and see it, it's there. You want to watch a movie, it's there.
Today, Lay Telecom customers replaced all 2G and 3G SIMs for a new 4G SIM at the Telecom Exchange building. This is the cheapest fast internet has ever been in our country. Mobile service providers are at a headlock to see who can provide the cheapest prices, while customer demand increases and the demand for internet usage also rises. Bethany Harriman, National MTV News, Lay.
And now looking at our finance news, the Kina opened unchanged at 0.3150 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying 0.3075 US dollars, 0.4113 Australian dollars, 0.2888 euro and 34.55 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee and copper closed higher while cocoa closed the day lower. Crude oil closed lower while palm oil and copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 21.51 points lower. The ASX is trading at 37.12 points higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 34.83 points higher. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Current CS Commissioner Michael Waipo is disappointed in the conduct of officers in connection with controversial rumors of his impending replacement by Chief Inspector Bernard Nepo as acting commissioner. Waipo disclosed alleged phone text message threats to his assistant commissioner from two officers he claims are working with Nepo for them to be put back on payroll immediately. He said the two officers along with Nepo have been off payroll since he was reinstated as CS Commissioner. Waipo stressed that while he respected the NEC's decision, he urged that all officers remain neutral until a decision was made. The law and justice sector will now be able to track criminals using a national criminal database system. This is a pilot project created to improve the national criminal detection process from time of arrest by police to sentencing. Lay Judge Justice Don Sawong was present today to address selected officers from the sectors in Lay, Wewak and Port Moresby about the database system.
The law and justice sector has introduced an information data gathering system in the country. This program is part of a criminal case management improvement in PNG. Justice Don Sawong was present today in Lay to inform these officers, including police, clerks of districts court and correctional institutions.
We've had that in the past, but it had been done manually, and so it becomes inaccurate at times. Information is lost, you can't retrieve it. So with this system that we are introducing, it's computer-generated information.
Justice Sawong said all officers of the law and justice sector will manage the information all the way to the final disposition. This is when the court, magistrate or judge makes the final decision on the nature of offence. The same information will go to the correctional institutions depending on the decision made.
What's going to happen is that when the policemen arrest someone for whatever offence, whether it's a small one at the district court or a big one that ends up in the national court, they will enter the information such as the name, full name, fingerprints, photographs, all of that type of age.
The project will be implemented in January next year. This pilot project in Momase will be assessed and evaluated by higher authorities of the National Criminal Justice Departments before it is rolled out to all provinces. All staff of the law and justice sectors is required to take up trainings on managing the database system, especially the police who will take lead in entering data at the time of arrest. Julie Badui Owa, National MTV News, Lay.
The Mount Hagen Technical College Board of Governors is frustrated at the slowness of the college becoming a polytechnical institute. They are urging the government to fund more infrastructure development to meet the standard of a polytech institute. On their 44th graduation last week, school principal Michael Sapau said they felt betrayed when Chimbu became the first Highlands province to be given a polytechnical institute. Vasinata Yama reports from Mount Hagen.
Hagen Tech was recently announced as a Polytech Institute, but if you look around the campus, the classrooms and dormitories are old, the building posts are rust and rotten, and inside of the buildings are damaged. But the school did not give up. They managed to complete the year by graduating a total of 230 students with diploma certificates in 5 different trades.
So we will go in our own way, we'll try and work on development inside the school so that school can survive, school can continue.
According to government's education policy, there must be 1 technical college per province. However, PNG currently has 14 national colleges. There must also be 1 polytechnical college per region and a community college per district. PNG still have a long way to go to meet its policy demand.
They will have to ensure that the policy is implemented so we can achieve, together we can achieve the government's directive for our people.
School principal Michael Sapau said the school had a successful year through the hard work of the teachers and their students. So far, a workshop, 2 dormitories, an administrative building, and few classrooms were built by the students. The college is currently under the government's TVET policy. When it's elevated to Polytech, it will be under the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. These will see students graduating with degree certificates in trades work such as electrician, carpentry, diesel heavy equipment fitting and such. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
The people of Alkena in the Tambul Nebelia electorate of Western Highlands Province recently celebrated the opening of a new community health post in their area. The project, worth 4.7 million kina, will benefit more than 15,000 people. Western Highlands Province is one of 8 provinces in Papua New Guinea under the government's community health project.
The 8 project provinces in PNG are Milne Bay, West Sepik, West New Britain, Morobe, the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, Enga, Eastern Highlands and Western Highlands Province. Each province will have 4 community health posts, totaling up to 32 community health posts in PNG. Community health projects are funded by the Asian Development Bank, the Government of Australia through Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and the Government of PNG. The main concept is to reduce high maternal mortality rate in PNG, and the community can have access to proper health services.
The 8 post was there, but it was very basic and unable to get to the core of the health needs of the community. The health center was there, but was distant from where the need was in the community.
Alkena is one of the 4 health posts in Western Highlands Province. 3 others will be built in the other 3 electorates in Western Highlands. It has a mini world-class health post building, 3 staff houses, patients' ablution block, a world-class incinerator and fencing. Despite the cold weather, it will be powered by a prescribed solar system and a standby generator, including street solar lighting.
So if we get 4 hospitals plus 1 major hospital in Hagen, that means you people are very lucky people. You have 5 hospitals in your province.
After the completion of all the community health posts in Western Highlands Province, Mount Hagen General Hospital will become a regional referral hospital. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
The people of Kompiam Ambum district will soon have a sealed road link in their area. last week saw the launching of the construction and sealing road project of the Ambum to Kompiam and Wabeg Town by the Prime Minister Peter O'Neill. The road infrastructure project is at a cost of more than 30 million kina by the national government and funding also from the DSIP at 10 million kina. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, Member for Kompiam Ambum John Pundari and Enga Governor Peter Ipotas were in Ambum last week for the launching of the road project. Prime Minister O'Neill says the road project was a long-time plan of the Kompiam Ambum member John Pundari, who has been pushing for the project to get underway. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill said road links are key infrastructure for the people that will improve their lives as well as a major link to business. This road link will bring business, create jobs and produce food. The Prime Minister highlighted on the government's focus of delivering infrastructure developments throughout the country.
Country mi sensim face protestla all infrastructure road bridges airport yimi work building mi go yet tasol hard lo yimi work mo ko one play yimi no got enough money yimi scaling money go ECC na yimi work na work go come yet.
The Ambum Road construction and sealing project of Monakam village to Takowas to Kompiam, linking to Wabeg town, will start early next year. Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News. PNG Power is working around the clock to restore stable power supply to the Highlands region as continuous rain causes trees and branches falling onto power lines, cutting off power supply. Customers are asked to call PNG Power's call center on the numbers now showing for further information. True Guys Sports is next. Details after the break.
True Guys Sports.
Welcome to True Guys Sports. Players and officials from the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup have spoken positively about their stay in the country. Most have said this will be an experience they will remember for the rest of their lives.
USA captain Mallory Pugh, though disappointed about their loss to Japan in the third and fourth playoff, managed to put on a smile and talk about her experience.
I think it's been awesome so far, and I think that having the World Cup in PNG was a really good idea. I mean, for some of us, it's a country we've never even seen before, and so coming over here and being able to play in a World Cup against great teams and just great competition, it's been just a really cool experience for me and my teammates.
She said it was a great experience for her, saying she enjoyed her stay in the country.
I think that it's been a great experience for me to come over and to PNG, to this country, just seeing everything, and it's been a really, really cool experience for me.
USA defender Madeline Elliston spoke about their mannequin challenge at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium and the videos they took while in the country.
Must have been a hit. I don't know. I think it was a coalition of a lot of people. Maybe High Firm Media guy. He's pretty good at some cool ideas. So I don't know. It caught on. Obviously, if you liked it, but everyone was pretty excited about the little mannequin challenge. I think it was our first walkthrough on the stadium, so that was pretty exciting. We were all really excited to see the stadium and all that stuff, and then got a cool little video out of it.
France coach Gilles Aikem and Maylene Chavez said their best memory is visiting the fans at Coquille again.
Je crois que c'est la rencontre.
So the best memory would be when we met our supporters in Koki.
Je
pense que ça va être la rencontre avec the best memory would be when we went to Koki to meet with our supporters. That was incredible, and they're amazing people. So. C'est des gens géniaux.
All they could say was thank you.
Gosh, it was awesome. I think I speak for my entire team, the staff, everyone when we say we just want to thank everyone here, the entire country, for hosting us.
It was incredible. I'll never forget what we lived here. The people, the country is really nice, so I'll never forget that.
Avec une très belle compétition.
It's a beautiful experience with a great competition. And what we'll keep in mind is the great supporters we met throughout the tournament.
PNG hosted the Pacific Games last year and the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup this year. Both events ran smoothly without a hitch and have received worldwide media coverage. The country's unique culture and the people's welcoming attitude towards the visiting countries have made many speak highly of the country and the people. Papua New Guinea's profile as a desired tourism destination has been given a major boost after the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Elijah Levet, National EMTV Sports.
Settling for second place in the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup 2016, the French did not depart with the silver alone. Goalkeeper Mylene Chavast also took out the Adidas Golden Glove Award for being the best goalkeeper in the tournament.
In an earlier interview with EMTV Sports, these young women said football is a passion and there is no better feeling than going out onto the field. 19-year-old Chavez, who persevered against all odds, started out playing football with boys mainly because it was not really a girl sport back in her hometown.
Je dirais que le foot c'est une passion. Football is a passion for her, and there's no better feeling than when she enters the pitch. So she encourages all the girls to try football. It's a great sport. Il y a beaucoup de jeunes filles à s'épanouir, donc lancez-vous.
And now to the world stage, Mylene Chavez became the best goalkeeper in the Under-20 Women's World Cup 2016 and along with it, bagged the Adidas Golden Glove.
A moment she'll want to forget here today, I know, but nonetheless, what a tremendous young goalkeeper France have here.
That passion has proved worthy of recognition as she tops the sport as the best Under-20 goalkeeper of her time.
I'm really proud. I'm really happy. Right now I'm disappointed because we lost the game, but I'm sure in a few days I'll realize it, and I'm very, very happy to have that award.
In a parting note, she encouraged all young girls in Papua New Guinea and the world to get into football and give it their best.
Oh, and it's saved by Chavez.
Dinero Sraiko, National EMTV Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The Pacific Women's Sports Leadership Program has drawn together over 20 women representatives in 6 different sporting codes from around the Pacific. The program aims to promote an increase in the number of women moving into leadership roles in sport and other sectors and runs from today until the 9th of this month in Port Moresby.
The program brought together women leaders from across the sporting sectors from Tonga, Vanuatu, Samoa, Nauru, Fiji and Papua New Guinea. The Pacific Women's Sports Leadership Program is a joint initiative of the International Cricket Council, Cricket Australia and Netball Australia. The week-long program will see 20 women from 13 different sporting organizations gather to discuss, share and develop their leadership skills through sport with the aim of directly impacting the lives of young women and girls in their home communities.
Learning, a lot of learning and building relationships, so get to learn from them and perhaps share my experience and share with their experience and take it back home with me and build a better and brighter future for sports for women's sports in Tonga.
One of the program's main objectives is to promote and increase the number of women moving into leadership roles in sport and other sectors.
From this conference, because how women run their sports amongst their community within men, it's not about, women should be treated much more, not so much more special than men. No, it's about how can we, moderate the sports into equally involving both men and women.
Adding to Philford's comment, International Cricket Council's Jane Livesey hopes that despite this program being the first of its kind in the Pacific, it will continue in years to come. The program will see the participants interact with female leaders from Australia and across the region, such as Ann Kara Hassan, the founder and president of Urban Giants Australia Football Club, and Community Liaison Officer with the Australian Federal Police. The outline of the program also aims to provide a high-quality professional development opportunity for women through sessions designed to equip the participants to collectively address the challenges facing women in sport in the Pacific. Roya, National EMTV Sports.
The first ever John Alomu Cup in Papua New Guinea is set to kick off next weekend at the home of Rugby Union in Port Moresby. It's an exciting prospect with 12 teams in total, 4 of which are provincial teams from West New Britain, Morbe, Medang and the autonomous region of Bougainville. The tournament will commemorate the passing of world rugby legend John Alomu in 2015 and will be an annual event to honor his legacy.
An idea which panned out since his passing. The inaugural John Alomu Cup will be the first of its kind in Papua New Guinea to honour one of world rugby's greatest players of all time. The tournament set for the 9th of December has attracted the country's best sevens provincial teams from the islands to the highlands.
We got about 16 teams, 12 of them from CRU clubs, 12 CRU clubs. That's the men, and 4 from the outside, which is Kimber Rebels, Medang, Black Orchids are from Bougainville, and then we have Lake, the Hammerheads. And then we've also got the women's, which is 8 women's team.
With the inclusion of the Morbe Hammerheads, Kimber Rebels, Medang Madgowns and Aiarobi Black Orchids, it is turning out to be a strong tournament. All teams are familiar with each of their style of play, having enough game time against each other in this year's Export Rugby Championship.
And it's been regathered by the Black Orchids, and they're in. They hit back immediately. What a wonderful, wonderful response from
The Hammerheads, who are the reigning national provincial champions, will be sending a full-strength team and are shaping up to be the strongest contender for this year's inaugural cup.
Goes all the way. Did he score that one? It looks suspect. They're going to have to check the tape on.
But the bark doesn't stop at the end of the tournament. It's a growing concept with a long-term vision of creating a sustainable avenue for junior rugby through the vision of New Zealand High Commissioner, His Excellency Tony Fa'atua.
Concept is, like I said, is around growing rugby here in Papua New Guinea, with a particular focus on the development of junior boys and girls rugby.
As the John Alomu legacy and concept grows in Papua New Guinea, Fa'atua would like to see a relationship blossomed between PNG Rugby and New Zealand Rugby in the near future. Lorraine Genia, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather details for the next 24 hours when we come back.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
Looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow, in the southern region, fine and sunny in Port Moresby, sunny in Daru, Kerema and Alotau, and mostly sunny in Popondetta. And in the Momase region, mostly fine in all centres. In the New Guinea Islands region, mostly fine in all centres. And in the Highlands region, morning fog clearing, then mostly fine in all centres.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
Now recapping our main stories for tonight. Mining conference opens in Sydney. Positive signals for PNG economy, and PNG a must-see destination in 2017. And that has been the news, sports and weather for tonight. On behalf of the entire EMTV News team, I'm Helen Seah. Pleasant viewing. Good night.